it starts out, you know, straightforwardly that you want to insult people, so there is the insulting style of swearing, and there are gender-specific terms that are in common parlance in my shithole of East London, and typically you would refer to a male of the species as a wanker. Wanker.
Wanker.
Literally meaning one who masturbates.
That's every male.
Simply a description then, in fact. Especially if you're married.
Oh!
Because that all stops. And the thing I like about the word wanker is the fact that you can kind of add to it, so you can just sort of, just personalise. So you could be saying baseball cap wanker, four-eyed wanker, bearded wanker. See somebody in the underground with a briefcase wanker! So that sort of thing, it's nice and adaptable. And then the word commonly used to insult women is cow. Cow as in bovine, yeah. And again, it's really multi-purpose. Stupid cow, silly cow, nasty cow, spiteful cow, spotty cow. Jenny. I know, it's a thing. No, I was the school bully, fuck it, let's not lie. Oh my. But then the other thing that we really like in England is we like to insult and swear at people kind of discreetly. So we developed kind of a code for that. And so my favourite thing is actually telling somebody to go and join a line, as you like to call them, a line a long way away. It's a queue, far queue. Far queue, go to the far queue. And actually, somebody over in that general area has a nasty sore throat and I can hear them spluttering, so why don't you far cough to the far queue? And if you're very lucky, somebody will make you a nice cup of rosehip tea with garlic or something and honey to soothe that throat, and they'll put it in a lovely mug, and that will be far cup. So why don't you far cup to the far queue and far cough? So this is nice. And the other thing just to mention, so you will see me driving around Lynchburg, occasionally wondering why in Virginia the word yield apparently means drive faster without looking. Have you all been taught to drive by your dads? Yeah, or on the farm or somewhere. Yeah, so there is that. But I am shouting wanker or cow as the gender, lends itself out of the window at people doing things like this. And I also make a gesture that in England is an invitation to a fight. The first time an American did this to me, I was selling tickets, beer tickets, I think at the Friday Cheers thing for Rush Homes, and he came over, he wanted 2 tickets, and he did this. I nearly slapped him. So if somebody at the back, who just laughed out loud, would like to shout out to the ladies and gentlemen of Lynchburg what that gesture actually means.
Fuck you!
Yes, or off. It's one of those 2 things. It's either far queue or far cough. And I do that as I'm driving around because nobody knows. They just think I'm going, oh, there's 2 of you, do come on. Or I sit and shout, useless driving speedy wanker. So I mentioned before that I learned to read and write, and eventually I was employed as a communications advisor to Her Majesty's government. And well, it didn't go that well. So there was the coded swearing thing, and I'm going to ask who, and it'll probably be somebody young, who in the room is actually aware of the phrase, the hidden meaning to the phrase, see you next Tuesday? Okay, so you take the letter C and the letter U, and then you take the first letter of the next 2 words, next Tuesday, and this is what you say to people as an absolutely coded hidden insult, which you might accompany by pushing your glasses. And And this fell into the consciousness of people like myself who like a bit of a laugh, even though we are grubby civil servants and shouldn't have a sense of humour. And I actually started running bets on which of our senior managers and some of the government ministers, the politicians we work for, we could lure into saying, see you next Tuesday in meetings. And it got very slightly out of hand because we ended up with a really big book on the humorless cow, who was the Secretary of State for Health at the time, who utterly despised me. Well, you know, with fairness, with good reason. Anyway, so we actually did manage to get her to do this, and it was a really big bet for this one. And bosses were starting to notice that we were all trying to organise all our meetings on Tuesdays. And we were just going, no, Wednesday's busy, Thursday's busy, Friday, no, Monday we'll be catching up over the weekend. Tuesday any good? We can do Tuesday. Do you want to come on Tuesday? We can do Tuesday. So there happened to be this huge briefing meeting with the Secretary of State for Health, and she used the phrase towards the end of the meeting, see you next Tuesday, and unfortunately people broke into spontaneous applause. And then loyalty is not what it used to be, and I was grassed up within 5 minutes of this happening, and that means snitched, grassed up, that means I was snitched on, and I was called into my boss's office, and I got the most serious bollocking I ever had since that incident with the fire at school. Anyway, so he was tearing me out a nice new shiny one, and at some point he really lost his temper because he thought I wasn't taking it seriously, and he called me a see you next Tuesday. And I just couldn't help myself, and I said, well, put it this way, Pat, I've got one, you actually are one. So they fired me. But you know, as one door slams in your face, another one opens up, and I walked straight into my dream job, which was running a bar. Not very much like this one, it has to be said, and it was called the Angry Ovary. And the Angry Ovary, as its name suggests, was a nice, safe space for the ladies, with the lady parts, and we would have specialty-themed drinks. So, obviously, Bloody Marys, we have those, strawberry margaritas, sangria, red wine, obviously, and then some specialty cocktails, including chocolate and ibuprofen. My own personal favourite was actually brandy and Benadryl. You know, the workings of the mysterious ovarian workings, it's not actually an allergy. You shouldn't really be taking Benadryl, but you know, when someone's got the full bitch fest going on, it does just take the edge off them. So we also offered a room where you could go and make little effigies of people you hated and stick pins in. And then we had a quiet room for weeding. I'm not mispronouncing, it was for weeding. Okay? But we also like to try to inspire people, and so I don't, well, and you've probably worked with lunatics in offices, and it's always the person with the least amount of personality who's got the sign up that says, you don't have to be mad to work here, but it really helps. So my version of that we hung up over the bar, over the mirror, just said, you don't have to be able to bleed for 7 days straight without dying in order to work here, but it definitely helps. Because then you have some kind of empathy with the customers coming in. But we did, you know, we were not prejudiced in any way. We did allow men to come in, and we had gender-specific toilets clearly marked. Hysterectomy. Hysterectomy. And one of the nicest things for me was that I was able to offer employment to my favourite niece. And I'll tell you why she's been my favourite niece ever since she was very little, and I know you shouldn't have favourites, but yeah, there we go. And I've loved her ever since we first explained to her why precisely she was going to be earning 77 cents to every dollar that her brother would be earning. Now, she put this information to really good use the next time we had a large gathering at my sister's house. And she went round the room like this. Penis, 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 no penis, no penis, penis, penis. Not sure. No penis. I thought it was fucking hysterical. So my mother calls me to one side, I get another excellent bollocking about this, and all right, mum, all right, I'll put her straight, it will be fine. So I had another little chat with her and put her straight about it, and she went, all right, Auntie Jenny. So the next gathering we have went a little bit more like this. Vagina, 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 no vagina, 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 no vagina, still not sure. No vagina, no vagina, vagina. So I got a good kicking about that, but there we go. I loved the childhood innocence that she would express in identifying people in that way, but you know, as children grow up, they learn that the world can be a harsh place and reality kind of sets in. And eventually, when she was hitting 9 or 10, this kind of, you know, it struck her that there were some people who were just not nice people. And she put that information to really good use the next time we were in a mass gathering, and it went something like, vagina, vagina, penis, vagina, penis, 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 vagina, arsehole. I'm now banned from family gatherings. You have been an absolutely amazing audience. This has been an absolutely wonderful